the NILF situation that we're going on here. I'm traveling back to Michigan from my work with I tell you what, before we get into that, there was something that happened today I'd never heard, never even thought I'd ever experienced before. We had somebody when I was at this place, right? Up getting my breakfast this morning. An individual asked, "What's an Egg McMuffin?" Not a young folk, not somebody who wasn't from the country. It's a seasoned citizen. Asked what an Egg McMuffin was. I was kind of shocked. So, still trying to process that one. It was a little early this morning, but so the idea for this video today is really about NILFs. I know it's a weird name, right? But it's an economic term for not in the labor force. It has all those people who are currently just not in the labor force at all. And there's a Forbes article that I wanted to do a screencast with, but for whatever reason, the system's not letting me do it today. It's fine. But I'll be able to talk you through. I'll throw a link to it in the description after the live screen is done, so you can go check it out. But you can go search for it on Forbes about NILFs. This is one of the big worries that I have for the labor market as a whole, especially for employees in what's going to be an already challenging labor market, as far as for not just finding work, but also being able to negotiate higher pay rates and things like that. Again, for my business owners, again, it's going to be in their benefit. We talk on this channel a lot about the difference between labor and capital, and the constant balance between the two. Who's got power, who doesn't, and currently labor does not have much pull, and it's only going to get worse as the economics and the economy continue to go down, but two, also more people re-enter the workforce who have to now because of inflation, and say the stock market, right? It wasn't like this huge drop, but it's enough to start to scare folks. Where we're going to have people who aren't currently in the labor market are going to start coming back. And I want you to just look at the issue that from an employee standpoint. Let's start there. There's already a large pool of people that you're competing with by very nature in the labor market, right? Job comes up and you are competing with thousands of applicants, right? Well, once the NILFs, again, these folks, and by the way, not in labor force means people who have given up on finding any work, so they're not even looking. And then you also have the people who have retired are in NILFs. There's some other stuff, but mainly it's your retirees, and it's the people who just have given up on looking. Now all of a sudden they're considered, once they start looking for work again and applying, they're back in the labor force. So what we're going to see is our unemployment rate is going to shoot through the roof in the interim, but that also means you're going to have a large number of people applying for all the jobs that are out there, which is going to only exacerbate the wage stagnation. And frankly, you're going to start, relative to inflation, you're going to start seeing real wages going down because the supply of labor is out there. It's what's out there, folks. It's the supply and demand curve. It does what it does. So that's what you're seeing from the labor piece. And frankly, I feel really bad for any of these new graduates that are coming out. They've just spent 4 years getting ready to graduate. They're here in this month. They're going to be graduating from college, and no one's going to be hiring. Plus, they're up against the people who have been laid off, plus all these folks that are going to be returning to the labor force. So if you're a new graduate, I feel for you, because the competition for jobs in what would be considered the modern era has never been stronger. Like, it is tough out there to, one, find a job that you want, but two, you're up against many faceted layers of competition that you didn't have before, right? So that's gonna be a big piece of the NILFs come back. Let's say from the employer side, because again, that's who I work with mostly is business owners. Now, business owners, your HR department and your hiring people, their life is already challenging enough. You have people who, there's a percentage of people who submit applications and then ghost you because it's fun. I've done videos on that. You have people who are not qualified for jobs, who have to apply to hundreds of jobs in the hope that they even get through your AI in your applicant tracking system, right? Because they automatically sort depending on what little boxes you check. So these folks have to apply to hundreds of jobs, many of which they're not qualified for. As a previous employee, I get that. It's so hard to even get a call back nowadays. You've got to apply for everything. Well, what that does though is it overloads the hiring systems, right? So there's that, and then also on the other side of that too is the competition now is not going to be for the new talent. The competition's not going to be for the laid off talent. The competition's going to be for these folks that are returning, these retirees. Again, you have boomers that have just left that have left left the labor pool in the recent years. They're now going to be, and they're fully qualified. Like, you got decades of experience and very qualified, regardless of AI. Forget all that crap. Just think about this. You've got people who have decades of experience in your industry, and now they're coming back. You're going to be fighting for those people too, just to bring them in. So you had to be able to have that, and this is where we're at. We're going to have basically 3 tiers of labor that now HR has to go through and weigh the pros and cons with all this stuff. And in a market that is as shifting as it is, I just worry about. Oh, is it too loud on here? Oh, no, I'm in the airport. Yeah, it's just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if this is too loud. I can try to, limit this up, but yeah, no. But anyways, this is what we're up against. So it's like this. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I just wanted to hop on here because, this in particular, this is oh, a little joke. Okay, hey, listen, I take jokes all day long. This is why I hop on here. I appreciate that. So, by the way, listen, I love the chats here. Hopefully, by the way,
please return back.
If you guys haven't subscribed, please do. I try to come live pretty consistently every single day here. I'm a business coach. I'm just traveling today, so thank you for the likes. We love that. We love likes. But
please return back to Southwest Airlines.
Sounds like somebody left their cell phone at the TSA line here. So I'm actually on my way back to Michigan. I've been out here in California working with a new client out in San Francisco. I'm at the Orange County Airport right now, getting ready to fly back. So, yeah, bright and early, long day of flying to get back. So it's about a full day of travel to get where I'm at. So, but what's going on? Oh, I was hoping to get here before all the announcements started really going. But anyways, this is what I'm talking about with everybody out there who's in the business world right now, either the employee or the employers. It is about to get even more. It's early. It's 5 o'clock, or it's 5:45. So, my flight takes off here in about 45. I want to get here and get breakfast. They didn't have breakfast in my hotel, so I wanted to get to the airport to get some food, which is here. If you weren't on earlier, there's a lady. She didn't know what when I was ordering this, she didn't know what an Egg McMuffin was. I'm still trying to work through that one. Like, and she's a seasoned citizen. She's older. I'm still trying to work through that. How the hell do you not know what an Egg McMuffin is? Like, and she was American. Like, it was just weird to me. I was like, okay, maybe she asked like twice, so I didn't mishear her. So, but anyways, so with my clients, what we're working through now, we're actually actively trying to get my clients off of the, oh, sweet, hey, I love it. Hey, thank you out there. I spent 8 hours in Lucerne. If I'm not pronouncing that right, I apologize. But I was traveling from Germany to Italy, and there was a terrible accident in the tunnel going out of Lucerne. So I basically just spent the day having a picnic down at the lake. I just got a bunch of stuff from the convenience store and just yeah. So it was wild. Yeah, I absolutely love it. Matter of fact, I have a persona non grata with Switzerland. I didn't pay a 400, this is years ago, this is a couple decades now, but a 480 euro speeding ticket. When I went through there, I just told them I'm not going to pay it. So, yeah, well, if I try to get in, it's going to be a problem. So, yeah, they sent me the actual official persona non grata. If I come back into the country, they're going to come after me. It's one of those funny little pieces of paper I got around the house. But here's the thing. Hey, so let's go the same thing in Europe. You guys are going to see the same thing over there. you're going to see more and more seasoned citizens going back into the labor force there as well too. That's there's a lot of 100%. But that's one of the things I'm just worried about for employees right now. Employers are going to be able to pick and choose who they want, and that's what I'm working with my clients on. But for the employee side, my favorite Taylor Swift song is actually Tim McGraw. If we want to talk about that, Tim McGraw. Back, it was her first single that she released on the countryside when she was in country, and I think she was like 16 at the time. So, yeah. I'm a Swiftie from way back, way back. Eras Tour was nothing for me. Yep. Yeah, I'm OG when it comes to that. I mean, you think of Tim McGraw, think of me. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But back to the piece here is, I'm just worried about employees like right now, because we're getting ready to get. She's very dynamic. She comes from a pretty wealthy family, but her strategy working through everything for managing her brand, but also as far as going through and navigating the music scene has been fantastic. So I'll say that. So I love what she does here. So when it comes to Trump administration, is good or bad, here's what I say for everyone. I was saying the same thing during Biden. I was saying the same thing during the previous Trump, saying the same thing during Obama. They're all bad in their own way, and they're all good in their own way. As business owners and employees, our job is simply just to navigate what's going on. And the vast majority of stuff they do at like the federal level, it doesn't. I mean, there's some big social things that affect, but for the most part, it doesn't really affect us all that much. You want to spend time at your local level of government if you want to affect positive change. And I'm an elected official in my area. I'm a school board member. I elect the school board, and then also for my municipality, I'm a trustee. And so we always have people coming into our meetings and just doing the thing, and which I love absolutely. So, but yeah, it's the thing. One of the issues that we have here doing, but I absolutely love though, is right now we're going through a cycle where folks, and what I would say is, when you are getting ready to get back from the employee side, you're going to see a rapid shift towards skill sets. Like, that is one of the bigger pieces that I want you guys to think about here. Again, this just goes out to everybody I know, is when you are dealing with, as an employee, if you have skill sets and if you're highly skilled, you are going to be in demand more so during this NILF comeback, which is doing the video on these NILFs here, when people are going to come back and watch this on my regular channel. You have decades of experience is going to find its way back into the workforce. And all these new folks are not going to be able to compete. They're just not. It's not going to be a thing. You check the time here. Okay, I got plenty of time before I got to hop back on the thing here. So, yeah, it's just going to be wild. And so when I'm talking, I have a few folks that I mentor that are professionals around the country and different things. I've got some HR professionals that I work with, some young women that are doing that. I've got some operations managers. I got some one-on-one executive coaching that I do. And they're not owners, they're executives. So, by VPs, a couple of CEOs, and it is a constant just reminder to them that they have to be out and paying attention to what's going on in the market, because their value as somebody who's in a specialized skill set is pretty much going like this right now. If you are a seasoned, let's say, if you get an HR and you're seasoned, people will pay big bucks for you right now. If you're brand new, no one cares. They couldn't care less about you. But if you're seasoned, you got 5 to 7 years, you're in demand. You're going to be able to pay up. Yeah, absolutely. I have seen a shift, but it's in specialized experience. So for instance, I mentioned HR. I've got someone that is in operations, but they have been as far as a manager, managers they're struggling right now, because they're not looking for generalists. They're getting rid of managers. They're trying to find generalists who know an exact thing that they can just put in to plug a problem here. So, yeah. So, educate people should have see, that's the thing. We're getting rid of, the economy is shifting a little bit, but we are definitely getting rid of the manager piece here. But production in the U.S. So I have manufacturers that I partner with, and manufacturing in the U.S. is actually not expensive. When it comes to the labor, or even any of those things, like it's not. It is the material costs, because we've outsourced so much of our material production. As that over the next decade comes back, manufacturing in the U.S. is going to drop significantly as far as costs. So it's going to be extremely competitive quickly. The salary is not an issue. I can just tell you that. Production, so for instance, we have some in my area where we do manufacturing for the auto industry, where it is the white metal components that would go into, let's say, in your door frame for certain things, or white metal around the engine frame, stuff like the engine itself. Starting wages there are $16.50 an hour, and that's where they start at. You get up into the the mid 20s pretty quick if you're doing your thing, but it starts at $16.50 for general labor. That's nothing. And that's what I'm saying. It's the material costs are where the problems are at. But copper is up again. Hey Pikachu. No. It's simple stuff. I mean, but again, when you go with Mexico, that's the other, again, the labor component isn't necessarily the largest. It's a large piece of it, but when you're talking about manufacturing, because of the machinery that you have, a lot of the machinery is built in the U.S. that they use, the components. So once you have the machinery in place, your labor costs they're not that much. It's not like I want to say in the retail side of the house, or let's say farming is extremely labor dependent, but not manufacturing. One of the places I know that they top line north of 50 million in sales. They've got 16 employees, and that's over 2 shifts. It's not, but the machines are doing everything. They're just managing it. So that's what I'm saying. It's not as but the thing is, it's not as expensive as people say once you're up and running, but the upfront costs are there, and then you're continuing, like I said, material pieces are. Same thing with shipping. That was the other aspect. One of the things that kills, did the government help with material? The government won't help with material because we outsource so much. It's one of the reasons that, with Trump is trying to get the Ukraine deal, because there's minerals that are there that we want to get, but still we're shipping across. We've got to get the stuff out, and then we have to ship it or whatever. So the logistics costs are there. What's that for? What's that have? Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing: the United States has a vast mineral wealth. We got tons of it. We haven't gone after it because it's been so cheap to go everywhere else. But inside we have tons. What we need for oil, we have there. Minerals are fine. We just don't want to use our stuff. That's what we're trying to use everybody else's stuff up first. But we can go in. We've got tons of copper. We've got tons of coal, tons of iron. Basically iron. Everything else you need. A molybdenum. I'm going to say that wrong, but yeah. So hey, thanks. Yeah. So I'm a business coach that works out of West Michigan, state that looks like this, or probably like this for you guys. I know it's always backwards. Sorry, but so I live in Michigan, and I travel. I work with clients all around the country, basically coming in, helping them grow their businesses. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. I also do farming gardening on this channel. So if you subscribe, don't be surprised if you see my garden stuff pop up too. So I a lot of time out my garden, greenhouse, and whatnot. So, but yeah, so I just come on here and talk about certain business things. I've been doing more lives this way. I'm just trying to see where most of the market's at for me here right now to be able to reach more people. But that's our big piece here. We're just, but to go back to that other aspect here, the labor costs are only going to go down, is what I'm saying. That's the thing right now. If you're an employee, when you compare to inflation, your labor is going to, basically your compensation is going to go down in the interim because of the vast number of people that are going to be pushing into the job market. So your best bet is to find a skill set and own it and be very, very good at it, and make sure you can talk about it and quantify it and have it be a thing. Like that's okay. Yeah, perfect. Again, Bachelor of Business Management from India. What's your specialization? Like that's the question I would be asking, because there's business management all over, and managers right now are in huge supply. Got tons of managers. So what's your specialization? So as an example, I have a bachelor's in occupational education. I went to school to learn to learn how to coach businesses, from employees all the way up to board members. And yeah, and then my master's degree is in logistics, and basically is in logistics and supply chain with a specialization in reverse logistics, i.e. how do we maximize empty space and empty containers going back to the company, things like that. So those are specializations that I got. I have other specializations, but what I'm saying is the people who are, again, one that I'm actually not looking for active, but we're working on the job description, are going to be for AI. We're looking for people who can do, and basically is AI prompt specialists specifically for marketing. Like that's one of the things that we're working and building out here. So, man, that's a who do you rather collab with for the education benefits of the future younger generation? Probably not Johnny Somali. Pretty sure Johnny Somali is going to be in jail pretty soon, if not already there, with all the crap they got going on. But if anything, I mean, honestly, if there's going to be, yeah, no one. Honestly, what I'd like to see Speed, with the influence that Speed has, especially after that China tour, find a way to turn this into, I like Speed. Honestly, I like way management, but the China tour shows that when these folks want to turn around and they want to focus their energies in a certain way, they can. So I'd love to be able to see Speed find a way to use that to influence more people to, again, where I'm trying to get people into is manufacturing and into the trades. It's the quickest way to, yeah, for sure. I understand, but trying to get people in the trades. This is the quickest way to a six-figure income.
John Wayne Airport. In order to enhance your safety,
Managers, HR, marketing, and finance, can you help me with some? I like, so it's between Speed and Kai, but I like Speed if I'm going to be talking about streamers. Okay, it's for the first two. You know, Kai's got their own thing. Kai, especially when I'm going to come back to you on the question of, I'm going to come back to your question about the what to do marketing finance here, but I love what Kai did, especially when, the DLC for Elden Ring came out. The work that Kai did on it, I thought it was great. So, anyways, for what I would do for you is just understand HR is going to be outsourced for AI, a lot of that stuff. Marketing is always going to be something, but understanding how to do marketing is going to be good. Marketing is always going to be a thing, but finance, a lot of that's finance, unfortunately, is going to be down to the lowest bidder, because there's so much of it can be automated. So just keep that in mind too. So marketing is where I'm telling people to go, because you are working through, oh, by the way, I deleted my OnlyFans because my feet pics weren't selling. Just to answer that one easy enough for you. I thought they'd do well, but they didn't, amazingly enough. So yeah, I'm telling a lot of folks actually go to marketing. It's where I spend a lot of my time, in particular, when it comes to like with my businesses that I work with. That's why I'm even doing this. You know, I'm new in the streaming space, or not streaming, but just being on YouTube. I got a year and a half, and I'm trying to get monetized so I can talk to my clients for everything. But I'm practicing when I'm doing this stuff to be able to better educate them on the importance of live streaming. I am 46. I'm an old dude. Yeah. I am I'm a grandpa. I was actually here seeing my daughter and her, after I finished my clients, my daughter and her family live down here, so I was able to zip down to go see them for the day. So finish that up. How are we doing time? Got plenty of time. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. So when when I'm talking with my clients too, this is just to share you guys some inside baseball on a lot of the stuff here is we spend an awful lot of time talking. I've been doing this for a long time. I was in the military. I did this for the military as far as helping businesses that contracted with the U.S. So I've been doing this for a while, making businesses better, but we spend a lot of time just talking about the job descriptions that we have. One of the things that we want to do is figure out, again, these job descriptions because of how quickly everything is moving. It's changing. The work that people are doing is like phenomenal that we do currently have, but it's having to change so rapidly. It's difficult for us to get the job description figured out so we make sure people are being compensated correctly, because the folks are losing talent all the time. It's zipping around that they don't have it. And it is just one of those things that, let's see, remove. That I just cannot, what's the word I want to say here now? We want to be fair to everybody. As for employees, we want to be fair to folks that are applying, that they're actually getting to the job that they think they are. Yeah, it's because we're losing people that are they have these qualifications that other people are paying a lot of money for, but we're also gaining people. But we want to make sure we bring people in that there's going to be relative to that they are going to come in and do the work that they want to do, to be fair to everybody. It's just this weird thing we're having to go through this dynamic. So what is it here? How was your experience in the military as in U.S.? Because I was in the Air Force. It was good. I went into it with with a plan. That's the biggest thing. Folks who suffer in the U.S. good Lord, in the military, in life in general, if you enter into something and you don't have a plan on what you want to get out of your time, then you end up it's being a waste or not being what you want. I went in there with very specific goals on what I wanted to have for education, what I wanted to have for experience, and what I wanted to be done with. And basically at 38 when I was going to retire, and I retired at 38. So I did my 20 years and was like, I'm out. So it was good to me. I was traveled all over, lived in a lot of countries. That's when I lived in Italy, and that's when I basically lost my. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to go over 5G here, guys.
Hello, this is Airport Authority.
I'm dealing with, I can't get on the Wi-Fi here. So yeah, I appreciate that. No, thank you. Yeah, no, the military was a good time. I met my wife there. So I married my redhead, so it worked out well for me. Yeah. And it's going to get blurrier, I think, here as more people show up. I think I'm going to end up, having to bounce in this here at some point. But if you're not up to date, then you are sooner. Yeah, exactly. One of the things here that you as an employee have a responsibility to do is be constantly paying attention to what the job market looks like for your job and the work that you do. You're neutral, no comment. Yes, you are neutral. Yeah, the folks that know me, they're absolutely astounded that I went into the military and the work that I did. They're like astounded. They're like, man, because I'm pretty anti-war for the most. I understand there's got to be a time and a place, but it should be 90. It should be the last option. And yeah, so right now, when I was in the military, it was pretty funny. Folks were like, you did? I was like, yeah, this is my thing. I don't do it now, obviously, but anyways, for you guys that are out there that are watching, or anybody that's checking in on the stream here, I just highly recommend if you have a skill set, like one that's in demand and it is, find a way to start your own business. I wish more people would do that, start their own consulting businesses for, again, marketing world. If you're in marketing, if you got experience, whatever your skill set is, if you're just getting into If you're just getting into business, have a plan to find a niche, master it, and then just start selling your services. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. Listen, I know you guys do. I know you guys do. Trust me. Yeah, it's before I was kicked out of the country. You know, one of the things that we went on tour was to go look at all the turrets y'all have randomly hidden around that country for self-defense. So yeah, I got you. But so that's one of the things when I'm mentoring, I'm coaching people right now is as fast as you can. That makes sense. Start building out your experience and your portfolio, and have a plan to move to basically open your own business. It's the quickest way to an upper middle class lifestyle when you open your own business and you specifically set it up. Because if you're in demand, right? If your skill set's in demand, why have someone else profit off your skills? Like that's another spot when I talk to employees, and that's what you're going to be up against too. During this thing when they talk about these NILFs coming back to the labor force, there's going to be a percentage of these people who are seasoned professionals that are not going to be in the labor force. They're going to be in the contracted world, as in they're going to come in as consultants. Okay, and I'm working with people as far as figuring that piece out as well too, how to be in the U.S., which would be a 1099 and contract rather than being an employee. And it's also from the employer side, I'm trying to work with my clients to bring in more folks that are consultants and with contract work, I would say, because it allows you to you don't have to worry about the payroll tax, all these things that you don't have to do when you bring in someone for contract work. But as from the employee, you get to, as you're going to be a contractor, you get to pick and choose where you want to work and who you want to work with. Like for me, I could be doing this work right now for one company, like I was, make mid six figures, and just have my one job. I could do that. But I don't want to do that. I want to go make some money. I want to go do my thing, but I want to be able to help as many different businesses as well. So I want to help as many different businesses as I can and pick and choose who I work with, right? And then I can control how much I'm charging and whatever. So, like I'm helping quite a few charities in the nonprofit space. I charge them much less for my services because of the work that they're doing is amazing. So I work with these nonprofits. And like for instance, I'll give you an example, which is why I love the work I do. So there's our local food bank. Due to the stuff with the current administration, there was a restriction on that. Basically, they lost a grant that was there to support small farmers that produce fresh produce that sold a large portion of what they did to the food banks. So they'd have fresh tomatoes and lettuce and asparagus and all the stuff, right? Cucumbers in the lot. Well, they lost the grant, and they weren't sure what to do. So I got a hold of them, and I was like, hey guys, I'll give you some pro bono work here. So we put together the marketing plan and built out a plan to let folks locally donate small dollars, like $30 a month to, or less. We got some folks who are only donating $10 a month, but we'll take it at the food bank, right? But I helped them set up that entire program and process, the marketing, the ad campaign, the communication strategy. But I can do that because I make my own business. I do my job, right? Whereas if I was working for someone, I couldn't do that, right? I wouldn't be able to just donate my time like that because I work for an employer, and that's what I'm saying. So if you're able to find a way to do that, do it quickly, because there's going to be so many people in the job market. It is going to be overwhelming. Like right now is bad. It's going to get even worse. It's going to be bad in Europe. You guys have had a kind of an upswing, but you're getting ready to go back down again. You're going to start seeing it happening here. So one of those things just to keep in mind. So, all right, well, I got to start packing up here, guys. I got to get ready to get on my flight. So it was good talking to you. Hopefully I earned your subscription today. Again, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm coming live, because I come live in this vertical format every now and again quite a bit, mostly in my garden, but I do on my regular channel, you'll see a lot of videos where I go live where around this time actually, or if a little bit later. So thank you for the well wishes on the good flight. I definitely appreciate it. And enjoy your beautiful country over there. I love it over there. So take care, guys. I will see you next time.